Hello, this is Dr. Kelly Donohoe here to talk to you today about anxiety. So, I'm spending a lot of time writing, and when I write, it makes me think about one of my very good friends, anxiety. And I thought I would share with you some of the tips that I use personally and also that I offer clients and patients in my practice and that I have for some time. And I hope that some of these tips or just information or new ways of thinking might be helpful to you in some way. And also for me, it's a moment I cannot be writing. So next time maybe we can talk about my other best friend, procrastination. But for now, we're talking about anxiety. I would like you to think about the idea of anxiety as a being of some kind. So if you experience anxiety, something that can be really helpful, it's called parts psychology, and it's a really awesome form of therapy that I love to practice, and you can use it with all different emotions to sort of help you get at what's going on, which emotions are working really hard, which ones might be working less hard, and why that all might be. And if you think about, if you've seen the movie Inside Out, which is a great movie for kids. It's a Disney Pixar movie about emotions. But in that movie, all of the emotions are personified. Now, I think there's only 5 emotions, and as human beings, we have many, many emotions. But in the movie, all of those emotions that we have been created into little people. And that's something that can be really useful in being able to sort through, process, and conceptualize our emotions in a way that we can work with instead of just having them all going on. So that's something I would like you to do while we're talking about anxiety. If you experience anxiety, which we all do to some degree, lesser and greater degrees, I would like you to think for a moment for me now or in the future, or just let it percolate a little bit for you, about what anxiety looks like for you. Is it a being? Is it sort of a person? Is it a creature? Is it a blob? Is it, I don't know, whatever it is for you. For me, my anxiety, as I mentioned, is a good friend of mine. So for me, anxiety is green, very, very green. I love green, so that's interesting. I don't know what this says about me, but I do love the color Kelly green. But I imagine it being that color. It's sort of almost a blob, but sometimes could be a person. So the reason that I feel this way about anxiety is because anxiety helps me get things done. And when she's in control, she's a part of me, so she's a she, since she is one of my pronouns, that when she's in control and she's helping me get things done, like write this book or make videos or parent the way I want to, or do any task that I feel like, ooh, I don't want to do that, but I get enough anxiety going, she propels me forward. And like almost everything in life, anxiety or all emotions, all things, chocolate cake, whatever, things in moderation, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of everything is great. We actually need anxiety. It helps us get going when we're afraid, when we're scared, or just when we need to play and get things done. It's when it gets ramped up too much or sort of taking over or doing too much work, as I would call it, that we need to say, hey, anxiety, what are you doing? Have a seat. So for now, you have this idea in your head of what your anxiety is. Next thing I'd like you to ask you to do is conceptualize. Is your anxiety working a whole lot, like maybe too much, or not enough? So that's sort of the next thing to think about. If your anxiety is working a really whole lot, usually that means it's covering up something else. And something else can be those emotions of fear, shame, denial, discomfort, sadness, anything that's sort of under the surface that is a much less comfortable emotion for us. For many, many people, myself included, anxiety is a friend because it's a comfortable place to hang out. And as such, it can cover up other emotions. So that's the next thing to do, is sort of think about what might anxiety be covering up if she is just doing tons of work and filling up all of my space in a not productive, not helpful way, not helping me get things done that I want to get done. Keeping me focused when I could be doing other things, or revving me up to the point that I can't calm down, can't sleep, interrupting my life, interfering with my work or my love. That's when you know that anxiety is working too hard, and I'm going to ask you to then contemplate why. What could anxiety be covering up for you? And then the next piece of that is exploring what's underneath anxiety. Or if anxiety is not working hard enough, why not? Why aren't you feeling motivated? What's going on there? Is another emotion like sadness, or maybe you have some depression going on there, or whatever else? There could be a million responses, right? For every person watching this, there's a different way of operating and being, and a different constellation of how your emotions all work together. So I just want you to think about these things and have a little bit of a different conceptualization of anxiety. And actually, you could apply these concepts to every emotion that you have and try to find a way to make this useful for you when thinking about your emotions. So step one is to think about whatever that emotion is, in this case, anxiety, in a way that helps you visualize it. And then step two, asking it, are you working too much or not enough? And then to be able to work from there and sort of sort through what's going on there. Now, sometimes we can do this all on our own, and sometimes we need help. And this is a place where a therapist could be really helpful. If you feel like you've gotten to a place where, I'm not sure what I feel like. I like what I'm seeing or feeling inside of me. I might need somebody to help me out with this. You can, talk to a friend, use your support scaffolding, or if that's not a possibility for you, or it feels like it might be something that needs an objective third party or someone that can help you through some pretty serious emotions, please see a therapist. So here's some ideas on anxiety from me to you in the throes of my, what I think is healthy anxiety, helping me finish writing this book. And when I do start to feel like, it's too much, that's when you get up, take a walk, use those healthy coping skills. We can talk about healthy coping skills on our next video. Have a great day. Enjoy getting to know your emotions and figuring out what they look like for you.